For decades, plastic was this absolute miracle material. But its greatest strength, the fact that it lasts forever, well, that's become our planet's biggest threat. Today, we're way past just talking about recycling. We're in the middle of a global race to do something much, much bigger, to replace plastic entirely. This quote really just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Plastic doesn't just go away. It shatters into these tiny, microscopic pieces. And these microplastics, they've worked their way into every corner of our world, from the deepest parts of the ocean right into our own bodies. So this isn't just some far-off environmental issue anymore. It's a human health crisis happening right now.
For so long, the story we were told was that recycling was the answer. But here's the hard truth. We just can't recycle our way out of this mess. The sheer amount of new plastic being made it's overwhelming. And that's why the entire conversation has changed. The mission is no longer about trying to manage plastic waste. It's about getting rid of it at the source. So let's dig into that. How did we get here? Let's break down exactly why plastic's original promise feels so broken today.
Yeah, this really paints the picture. Our production of new plastic is like a fire hose running at full blast, and our ability to recycle it is, well, it's like trying to catch all that water with a thimble. It's just not possible. With global supply chains constantly pumping out new stuff, most of this plastic has nowhere to go but into our landfills and our oceans. And here's the really scary part. All that plastic that gets away doesn't just sit there. It breaks down into these tiny, insidious particles called microplastics. They're in our soil, they're in our water, and yep, they're in our food. It's this invisible contamination that makes finding a real replacement so incredibly urgent. But you know what? That urgency has lit a fire under innovators everywhere. It's kicked off this incredible global race to invent the future of materials. And this race isn't just happening by chance. It's being driven by a sort of perfect storm of different forces all coming together at once. What's happening is this really powerful feedback loop. It all starts with us, with consumers demanding greener products. Then you see governments responding to that pressure with new rules banning single-use plastics. And finally, corporations are realizing that being sustainable isn't just a cost anymore, it's actually a huge competitive advantage. These three things are feeding off each other, just making the pace of change faster and faster. And this, right here, this is the crucial part. The goalposts have completely moved. It's not enough to create a green alternative that's, weaker or more expensive. The real challenge now, the new benchmark for success, is to invent materials that are flat out better than plastic. Better performance, a better price, and ready to be used all over the world. So, with the bar set that high, we're seeing a genuine revolution in materials, and innovators are finding inspiration in the most amazing, most unlikely places. I mean, forget about those old-school corn plastics. The new toolkit is so much more diverse and exciting. We're talking about scientists creating materials from seaweed, from the roots of mushrooms, from algae, banana fibers. They're even figuring out how to make them from carbon literally pulled out of thin air. This is all about building an economy that works with nature, not against it. And this is where it gets really cool on the performance side. Okay, take packaging. We now have foams that are literally grown from mushroom mycelium. And get this, they're actually better at absorbing shock than styrofoam. It's the perfect example, a superior product that also happens to be 100% compostable. Or how about this? There's an edible coating, super thin, made from algae that can make fruits and vegetables last way longer on the shelf. Just think about that for a second. You're not just replacing plastic wrap, you're also fighting the huge global problem of food waste. It's a total 2-for-1 solution. Now, of course, a revolution this big is never without its challenges. So let's be real about the hurdles these new materials are facing, and then look at the next generation solutions that are already on the horizon. And this is the question you have to ask, right? In our big rush to replace plastic, are we accidentally creating a whole new set of problems? And the honest answer is the first wave of biomaterials wasn't perfect. They did have some unintended consequences. But the amazing thing is just how fast the industry is learning and adapting. That early problem of using farmland that could be growing food, well, now the focus is on using agricultural waste or things from the ocean like seaweed, which can actually help restore marine ecosystems. And that whole issue where you needed a special facility to compost them, the next generation is being designed to break down right in your backyard compost bin. The problems are literally being solved in real time. And this evolution in thinking, it points to a much bigger idea. circularity. It's not just about what a product is made of anymore. It's about designing materials where the entire life cycle, the whole shebang, from how it's grown to how it's used, and critically, how it returns to the earth, is regenerative. The ultimate goal here is a system with absolutely zero waste. Which brings us to our final, and maybe most important piece of this whole puzzle. Because this transformation isn't just about the environment anymore, it's about the economy. Let's be really clear about this. The race to replace plastic has officially moved from being a niche environmental issue to being a central pillar of the global innovation economy. We are looking at a market opportunity valued in the trillions of dollars. Trillions, with a T. For the companies, the scientists, and the countries that get out in front and lead this charge, the economic payoff is going to be massive. This is going to reshape everything from packaging and clothing to farming and construction. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi future we're talking about. It is happening right now. You can already go out and buy premium products made from these amazing new materials. And the big difference is, sustainability isn't just a sticker they slap on at the end. It's baked into the product's design and actually makes it better. Yeah, and the business case for this is just crystal clear. Companies that jump on this early are basically future-proofing their whole operation. They're building stronger brands, they're getting into new markets, they're making their supply chains more resilient, and they're getting ahead of regulations they know are coming. It's gone way beyond being the right thing to do. It's now just the smart thing to do. So we'll end on this thought. If the 20th century was the plastic age, defined by this one single synthetic material, what's going to define the 21st? We might just be at the dawn of a completely new era, one that's defined not by what we can dig out of the earth, but by what we can grow, regenerate, and then return to it. We could be at the very beginning of the living materials age.